tracking a bearish pattern within the bullish reversal, and now the bearish pattern just broke to the upside. That means bullish. Now pointing towards upcoming rally or the markup. It can either be like this, or it can be in this pattern. The trend may show us something like this. Now I will take you guys through charts one after another, showing you what the market is presenting to us in different time scale, using different indicators and patterns. And I will be not only showing you guys charts of XRP, but also the altcoin market cap, the altcoin dominance, and the total crypto market. Yes, that's including BTC. Welcome to the Scientific Investor channel, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. This is a journal article from the Journal of Economic History, and what I would like to show you guys is something like a continuation from our last couple of videos. We're talking about smart money, right? So here it reads, we document that analysts often viewed as smart money assist fundamentals based on their perceptions of future economic growth in a way that tracked decade to decade swings closely. Now, yes, they are talking about following decades to decades of patterns. Now, if we actually look at crypto market, we don't have that, right? We are still new in this market. Now, what I would like to take you through is directly jumping into this article's page number 270. And if you read this area, you can actually understand one thing. What we do in this channel is mostly based on this idea of forecasting, the future based on the previous price fluctuations. Is actually based on science. Now, forecasts reasonably take the recent past as more relevant than distant past. Now, if you take hundreds of years of investing for a particular asset, you can actually look at the recent past. That's what they are actually trying to point. Now, if we actually look at XRP and look at the recent past, we had a recent cycle, right? And we are actually mostly concentrating on that. Now, there's a next article showing that components of bull market and bear market. Now, what I would really like to highlight here is the probability of transition from a bear market rally into bull market. So that is something we really want to understand now, right? Because if we are looking at it, we actually want to understand where we are in the market cycle, and this is much more important because the transition from a bear market rally to a bull market, if that's happening soon enough, then it should not be surprising to us. We should be prepared. Like the video in last two videos, we were actually showing about being wise, and here it's pointing out as being smart. So it's smart money or being intelligent or a wise guy. Now, the main point here is, firstly, the bear or bull markets persistent but made of many regular transitions between state 1 and 2. So like second, in each of examples, the move between regimes occur through either bear rally or bull correction. So in other words, these are dynamically critical to fully capturing turning points of stock market cycles. So guys, we actually have to understand where we are in the market cycle, right? So if you actually with me trying to understand these, yes, I completely agree that 2 days back we actually had something like this. We were following this pattern and we were checking whether this is going to break to the downside or move to the upside. And as of now, we just broke above that. If you guys recognize value from this video, please do like, subscribe, and press the bell notification icon. Now these black lines are showing you the standard resistance support zones, and the red line is kind of the standard deviation through which it wicked out. Now we actually confirmed a breakout even above the resistance line and the standard deviation, so we can actually understand that so easily. Now if you look down in the RSI, you can actually see a reversal pattern. Now yes, this is in a 60-minute chart, but still, if you look at the number of touches and the trend line support rising to the upside and the pattern forming, it is more or less a bullish pattern than ever. Now if we try to look at this, say for example, we are actually mirroring this pattern from here to this side so that we get a rounded bottom. Now that is just an imagination that this is going to repeat in its opposite phase, because I believe we are in a transition from this area, that is the bear market rally here, into a bull market. Now that is based on science, right? Now when we look at that, we also have to look at other possibilities. Say for example, these patterns, now if we are accommodating that it can actually go to the upside, but we don't know how it will actually happen, then we have to actually look at all the different possibilities. Now this pattern here, you can actually say we have something similar here, and if we take, say for example, this entire area and put it here, it looks something like this, but it doesn't actually fit in, right? Because this pattern here happened at the middle, and if we are actually looking at that here, that happened at the beginning of that pattern. So in that aspect, we'll just take the top of this one and then plot it till the end here, which is marked as this red line, the exponential kind of growth here in the smaller time frame. Say in a 1 hour, it looks like that. Now this is a 4-hour chart. Now we take that and put it here, we get something like this. Now we are at the bottom of that area, so we don't know whether to expect a pattern like this moving upside instead of making a slow recovery from this U bottom or the head and shoulder pattern. Now at the same time, if you actually look at the bottom, it's also showing you a reversal signs. Now this is a chart in which you can actually understand if we are to move ahead, then we have a resistance and support line forming like this, in which either if it was the prediction like this, then we will be moving through this exponential pattern to the upside, and if that's wrong, then mostly the chances are that we may continue like this. Still, it's a bullish reversal and a continuity. Now zooming out again in the 4-hour chart and looking at this bearish bullish reversal pattern, you can actually see the head and shoulder pattern here in the RSI has actually broken to the upside. If you zoom in, you can actually understand that. We actually broke above. That is a bullish sign. First of all, this is a inverse head and shoulder, and the inverse head and shoulder is actually pointing you to the upside if it broke here, and if it just happened. Now moving on to the next one, you can actually see this is a daily chart for XRP, and the bullish symbol here is, say we are getting a continuous up-shaped candle. Say one we got here confirming that there is kind of a change in the trend, then here reassuring that it is happening. But at the same time, if you look at the RSI, you are getting a double bottom. Now these are all happening within this trend line, so that makes it valid. Like with this third touch here and a bounce, it makes it valid that it is a trend line for the near future. Now this is in daily, so that is important to note, because if you are trading, say in a 4-hour chart, you can actually use this resistance and support line from this 1-day chart and then trade that in a 4-hour one. Now this is a 12-hour chart, and when we look at this pattern, you actually have to understand in a shorter time frame. Say this correction looks like it went from the top to the bottom like this, and it was getting supported here. Now if you actually point that based on patterns, you actually get something like this. It's known as a bullish checkmate. We actually described this in the last video, right? So if that is to happen here, then we can actually expect a reversal to the upside quickly, because it won't be like a slow movement to the upside, whereas it will be like this, a faster recovery. So if that faster recovery is actually coming here in the longer time frame as well, then what we just spoke here, the exponential one, will be the most accurately predictable thing happening here, which may take us directly to 0.3, 0.45 and 0.5 in the near future. Yes, it won't take much time there. Now if you actually zoom in and look at the altcoin market cap, what you can understand here is the entire altcoin market cap has actually moved to the upside. We actually discussed about that. We were following this pattern, and now it has made this bottom here, confirming that bounce after the retest of this support, which was previous resistance. And at the same time, if you look at the bottom in the RSI, you can actually get this similar pattern, kind of a double bottom, not exactly the textbook double bottom in the price, but in the RSI you can actually see something similar. No, it's vice versa. You can actually see a double bottom, textbook double bottom in the price, but not in RSI. But at the same time, we are also getting the rising trend line here in RSI, as well as the price. So that indicates that the price is actually moving to the upside, and along with the volume here, you can understand that the break here is having much of a strength, considering the resistance here was with of low volume, and the break and the retest here is with the similar volume that of the break and the retest. Now if we actually move in and look at, say for example, the next one, that is the altcoin dominance chart, you can actually see that we discussed like yesterday, right? Buy low, sell high, and again this is the buy low here. The reason for that is we actually get resistance zone here and a support zone here. Currently we are between that two area, and we are making a reversal pattern here which is similar to that of XRP. So if you are actually in this one, then instead of coming back and retesting this area and going back, I think we are going to get a bounce from here, because if you actually plot a central line, say a median here, you can actually see that the price is kind of respecting that median. It was resisting here and then broke above, now getting supported that area. So hopefully the price will be moving to the upside from there. Now looking at the total market cap of the crypto including Bitcoin, now yes, when we include Bitcoin, the chart looks like Bitcoin. Anyway, while looking at that, you can actually see a rounded bottom and we are pointing to the upside. If you zoom in, we can see that we are moving to the upside. We are making all the positive signs of a bull market there. See the bull rally in a bearish pattern turning into a bull market from here. Think about that. It may start here and end up after 1 year, 2 year, giving you an enormous return on your investment. Now guys, we actually do have other news to cover through as well, which are really interesting, because what is happening in the charts is also reflecting in the fundamentals, or you can say what is happening in the fundamentals are actually reflecting in the charts. It's up to you. Now this is the first one from Cryptopolis, and it's actually showing you that today every USD bill and note closed below 1%. Now the only 20-year and 30-year bonds are above 1%. You can see coming prices, upcoming recession there. Now the next one is from Bank XRP, showing Ripple reveals global fintech expansion strategy, and this is expanding into Asia. They are talking much more about Asia. They are really high on Asia. Now the next one here, if you are looking at it, this is from King Solomon, and if you look at it, you can actually see about the payments which they are actually talking about, the clearing and the settlement mechanism. Now when you actually focus on that, what you read through this, what you understand is, with the go live in Aruba, we established an important milestone for our company at a global level. So see, companies are coming in, joining this one and embracing this technology and making a mark in the global level. Now you can see the dollar and yuan they're talking about, then yes, yen, ruble, yuan, euro, everything there. But at the same time, they're actually kind of comparing what happens between the previous technology and the existing one. So more similarly, they are gonna embrace this one soon, because they are actually pointing out on the DLT and fintech. So when you actually compare this, you know what's happening in the background. Now this one is from Cointelegraph, and this is showing you, as soon as the Supreme Court of India changed its stance against the crypto, now the crypto exchanges are resuming fiat services. Before you couldn't actually buy crypto with your fiat currency, Indian rupee, whereas now you can. And exchanges are also starting money transfer services. So they are actually getting high in this one. And this is the next one from XRP Marshall, showing you that Bank Asia of Bangladesh is joining RippleNet. So that's also another bank from Asia. Now South Korea, you can see that cryptocurrency has officially been classified as an asset class by the institutions. For the institutions, it is actually happening. Last time when the pump happened, if you were here, you would have understood that there was a lot of volume coming in from South Korea, and there was the crackdown from the government. It all went down. Now they're actually getting a green light from the government, so that's kind of a good news there. Guys, if you received value out of this video, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you like the content, do obliterate the like button. I'll meet you guys on the next one. Bye for now.